Hey, it's time to dish with D. That's me. Thank you for clicking on this video and making yourself a priority. I am Denise. Welcome to my channel. Today is Wednesday, and today is my topic of the week for weight loss. Saturday I do WW's, meeting topic du jour, but today is Denise's D's Wednesday wisdom for my weight loss. It's things that being on a weight loss journey, losing over 100 pounds, or things that I find important, or things that I think we should be discussing. So this is the day for me. So you guys have really embraced the Wednesday wisdom. I'm really, really happy about it. Now we're continuing with subscribers' request. Your request, you put down in the comments below of last week's video what you want me to go through and talk about this week. Same goes for this week. In the comments below, you put in what you want me to rapid fire discuss, and I will discuss that next Wednesday. So yeah, we have a few things to discuss. I also have a video clip of one of the things you asked for. I did a screen record of how to do it. It's much easier to show you than to tell you. So that'll be coming after we talk about these topics. So thank you again for giving me these ideas. Some of them are really good, and you know what? They're all really good. Let's face it, because if you don't know something, you don't know, and you might not be the only one that does it now. And some people just think, oh, I don't want to ask that. That sounds silly. Like I always say, if you don't know, you don't know. It's not silly. So let's rapid fire through these. All right, D, what types of oats do you use? I see you use oats in a lot of your recipes. Explain to me the different types. So for me, there's only 3 different types of oats. There's quick oats, which are the ones that are quickest cooking, and they're the most processed. And then there's rolled old-fashioned oats, which are the next, second less processed. And then there's steel cut, which are the ones that are least processed. Now, I'm not a huge fan of steel cut oats. Just not my thing. They're a little bit more bitier than the other ones because they're whole. They're, I'm saying they're whole versus the other ones are more flat. They're processed. So if you're making oats in the Instant Pot or on the stove and cooking for a long time, then steel cut oats are for you. Now, I did a recipe, I think I did it on the channel, where you boil water and then you put this steel cut oats in. You let it simmer for a minute, and then you put the lid on and let it sit overnight. And the next morning you just heat it up, and it's perfect. Really is. When Timmy's home, sometimes if he asks for oatmeal, I'll do that the night before and we have it for breakfast. If I remember to link that video, I will. It is super, super easy, and it's foolproof. Like, I've never seen anything come out perfect. I've cooked steel cuts on the stove. Yeah, they're just not my thing. It's just too much error in that one for me anyway. But I'm more of a rolled oats, the middle of the line kind of gal. But you're gonna laugh. I have both in my pantry at all times because I like the combo. I like half rolled and half quick. It's how I roll. Now, in my little oat bakes, the little oat loaves, the miracle loaf, the quick oats are much better. And you know what? It appears like flour when you bake it. Like, it doesn't look like an oat. I think I always say they're less oatier. They're just that less pieced together kind of oat. But yeah, I have both in my pantry. I have no steel. I have all 3. Who am I kidding? I have all 3. But I gravitate more in the middle with the rolled old-fashioned. They're either rolled old-fashioned. They go by both names. So it's kind of like I try to distinguish when now when I make an overnight oats, I use either the rolled or the quick. You cannot use steel cut oats for overnight oats. They just don't soften. So that is a no-no for overnight oats. It all depends on what I'm in the mood for. If I want it oaty, I'll do the rolled. If I don't want it oaty, I do the quick. So both does work. I just happen to like having both. It's a personal preference. Again, you could have, probably the most versatile would probably be the middle of the line. But here's also a clue. If you want to make oat flour, you just get the rolled oats and put them in a food processor. Don't be wasting money on oat flour when you got oats in your cabinet. Now, I don't know about steel cut. I've never ground them to make oat flour. I've always used the rolled old-fashioned, the middle one, for that. So I don't know if they would work. I don't want to say yes, and I don't want to say no. I'm going to say I don't know. I'm pleading the fifth on that one. All right. I hope that helped. Scanner versus calculator. What do you think is best? That's a tough one because easiest is scanner. I scan everything. There has been a lot of errors in the scanner. Now, I don't know whose fault that is because remember, it's scanning nutritional. It's not scanning what points are. Like, it is giving you points, but it's not going to know what 0-point foods. Like, if you have like a stir-fried meal kit that has chicken in it and you scan it, It's going to come out the same whether it has chicken in there or not. The chicken that doesn't know a 0 point food is in there. It's not geared towards that. So don't say, well, it's not going to know because it has chicken in it. Anything that's 0 doesn't show up on the stuff like that. It's a nutrition scanner. It scans just nutrition information. So I go by that. Has it been wrong? It has. And when I find something wrong, I email Weight Watchers or I chat with one of those tech people and I tell them they're supposed to fix it. Do they fix it? Most times they don't. They say they will, and I get they're just busy. But, I mean, here's the bottom line, and I'm going to be honest with you. If I had to put everything in the calculator, I wouldn't have time I wouldn't do it. It's kind of like counting calories. It's something that's that daunting, but now I will say, let me rewind that. We can scan the label with the camera, so it will calculate it. So it's not as hard as it used to be. It used to be you had to put everything in manually. Now it will take a picture. So maybe it's not a bad thing if you kind of suspect, it might not be all. It will depend. And here's my bottom line. You may disagree with me. You absolutely can. If something's off by 1 or 2 points, is that going to make or break anything? I don't think so. So I kind of don't put too much into that. But again, if you're the person that needs to know, then just use the calculator. Like now that there's the scan feature on that, and you could scan that, you'll take a picture of it. That does make it a little bit easier to get the correct points. So yeah, like there's things that just aren't in there. It'll say not in the system. Do you want to add it? So you absolutely can add it. See, a lot of things, there's where the error comes from when people are adding, because you'll see something's come up, scan, it'll have 4 points, 5 points, 3 points, 4 points. Like, which one do you believe? And then I just tend to just scan it myself with the nutritional information. If I'm really that concerned, I'm not always. I don't go and I wouldn't go and pick this, like the one that says 3 versus 5. I'd probably go for 4. I go to the middle of the line, I'm like, I'll just go for 4. Seems fair. So it's one of those things that I do the scanner, but you have to do, again, what you feel comfortable and what is better for your mindset, basically is the answer. Weeklies and how to use them. And do you use them? And I do use my weeklies. Now, there are several rules of thought for this. You could take your weeklies, divide it by the amount of days in the week. That's always a good thing. See, I tracked calories way back in the early end of winter, beginning of spring last year, just to see where I fell and how many points I needed to fulfill my caloric intake. So I knew I needed at least 6 to 8 points more a day to be up where I needed to be. Now, again, that was with that plan, because I was fine when we were on the blue plan. So I don't know, but that's what I do, and that's put me in right the sweet spot. Now, you don't have to do that. If eating your dailies is enough, then you're fine. But if it's not, you definitely I would say, incorporate a few and see how it goes. Like I said, some people divide it up into every day, and then that's where they're hitting I will suggest it's always good just to see, because we normally eat the same foods on a routine. I know I do. Generally the same foods. So doing your calories for a couple of days gives you that idea of where you're falling. You don't want to fall too low, because when you fall too low, it's hard to go to normal where you should be without having that gain. And your body doesn't lose correctly at too low of a caloric intake. It doesn't. It stalls. Like, why am I not losing weight? Why am I having such a hard time? Because you're not eating enough. I know that sounds really ridiculous in theory, like you're not eating enough. You have to eat less to lose. Technically, you have to eat enough for your body if it's burning too much. If you're exercising a lot and you're burning X amount of calories, you have to intake X amount of calories. You'll see people who track calories, and they'll see when they do a workout and it's synced that their calorie intake goes up, not down. It goes up. Why? Because your body needs more fuel. If you're putting out a lot, it just needs it for maintaining health. So that's where, that's just up to you what you want to do. I go, like I say, 6, mostly, sometimes 8 if it's a bad week, but mostly 6. And I always try to keep like maybe 15 kind of in the bank just for flybys. I do flybys. I do. I'm not apologizing for it. That's who I am. So could I sit there and smack my hand? I could, but I'm an adult, and if I want to do a freaking flyby, I'm going to do a flyby. it doesn't bother me because I account for those points in my week. So I'm all right with that. You have to be you in your journey. You can't be on a diet all the time. You have to live a lifestyle. And if I do a flyby here and there, that's how life goes. And I'm okay with it. Hope that answered that question. Weigh-in day sabotage. Oh, this is one of those near and dear to my heart things because I talk about this all the time. How to get off the hamster wheel. Yeah, it is a hamster wheel because you know what? You say my weigh-in day is Saturday. We'll talk about my weigh-in day. It's Saturday, and I've used to bring a snack with me to weigh in because we're hungry, right? So I'd bring like a Built bar or something, like a 4-point bar. I would have that. I'd go home and it was weigh-in day, and I'm going to eat. It's my weigh-in day. I don't have to go till next Saturday. I'm going to eat what I want. So I would have anything. Did I track it? Nope. Did I know how many points it was? Nope. Did I care? Nope. So I had that. And then it got to be the bar, the breakfast, and then lunch. Oh, it's weigh-in day. It's my no track day. I eat what I want, and then it got to be bar, breakfast, lunch. Then we'd go out to dinner on Saturday night most time. I'm going to eat what I want. I'm going to have something really indulgent because it's my weigh-in day and I owe it to myself. See, there's the mentality. I owe it to myself. So I'm going to eat what I want because I owe it to myself. I can do it because I was good all week and I earned the right to eat it. So then into Saturday morning, we would have Steve breaks breakfast on Saturday. Oh, let's just have a big pile of regular pancakes. I don't care. It's my day after weigh-in day. And then I'd realize I'd get on the scale come Monday and I'd be up. I said, a pound and a half. So then I'm working really hard and diligent all week. And I go and get weighed in and I'd be down 0.2 or the same or maybe even up. So you work 5 days hard a week to have we'll say one day to pork out. That one day sets the tone for your week. And when you're in the zone of your journey, to throw a day like that in is sabotage because you know how easy it is to get right back into that eating? Like that. Simple. My suggestion is, again, throw those weeklies in during the week and throw foods like that you're not eating. Because I guarantee you're porking out on Saturday because you're not eating something that you really, really want. Or you're not finding a way to fitting it in. Like cake. I mean, I'm a big cake person. I like cake. No bones about that. So I make mug cakes. I make little loaf cakes. I could fit in. Some of these are 4 points, 3 to 4 points, my loaf cakes. That's a nice sized piece of cake. Most times now I have half and I'm totally satisfied. You could fit this in. You could work in a piece of cake. The fact is you're not. And so when you're coming to weigh-in day, you want something because you've lived in the word denial diet mode all week. And that's not what we're on. We're not on, at least I'm not on a diet. I am on a weight loss journey. And when I want something as simple as chips, I don't wait till Saturday. I fit it in. You know what? I think this is 3 or 4 points. It's part of lunch. I mean, what's wrong with having a bag of chips? Life is short. Eat the chips. Fit them in. The more you fit in foods like this, the more you're not going to want to have that Saturday binge. Ice cream. Oh, I'll wait till Saturday. Now, you could have a half a cup or a quarter cup of ice cream. Go find it. If you don't want to eat the lower calorie ones like the Nix or the Enlightened or the Halo, I'm kind of blaming with the Halo and the Enlightened. They're not my favorites, but the Nix is pretty good. And I'm not a huge ice cream person, so for me, it doesn't really calculate ice cream. But find a low 0.1, because let me tell you something. It's cold. It's sweet. It's creamy. It'll help. Fit it in during the week. You're not going to crave something if you're eating it. Candy, a Thin. This is such a better option than a regular Reese's peanut butter cup. Less points, and you can have 1 or 2 a week. Fit them in. When you fit in treats, you tend not to desire them. We hold food in a holy grail. We put it up here, and then we think about it, and we think about it. And here's weigh-in day, and then we just pork out, and we don't care. So we have to bring that back into fitting it in during the week. The more you fit it in, and you treat your life like a lifestyle, the more you won't want it. It's the nature of the beast. We want what we don't have. So find a way to have disciplined food. Allow yourself to have something. Not a lot, some of it. The taste is all you need. The first few bites are what really counts. And then the more you do that, the more better you'll become. And I will tell you, that is a hamster wheel. Every week I'd say to myself, I'm not doing that on Saturday. I'm not doing that on Saturday. And when Saturday came, I'd do it again. It was like a habit I couldn't get out of. I wound up changing my weigh-in day to a nighttime weigh-in day. So I had to behave all day because I'm getting weighed at night. So I did. And then by the time nighttime came, I was too tired to eat. Nope, I was just too... Meeting was at 6:30. I didn't get home till 7:30. I didn't feel like eating late. You kind of... So that got me out of it. And then I went back to Saturday weigh-in days. So I go to Saturday weigh-in days now. And I do not have the Saturday day binge. I'm happy to report. So I hope that helps. Scanning item is not available on the Weight Watchers app. You just have to add it. You just have to go. It'll tell you when you scan it, it's not available. Do you want to add it? And you just say yes, and you put all the information in. You name it. So that's all you do for that. Do I weigh salad dressing? I measure it in my tablespoons. I should probably do it on the food scale. I've kind of really didn't think of that. Put my salad on there, tar it out. Or is it tear? I always say it wrong. I think it's tear. It's the T. You tee it out. I was going to call it the T. And then you would just drizzle it on, and it'll tell you I'm sure it tells you the grams. 99.9% of things have a gram. So yeah, I do think the scale probably might be a little bit more accurate than the tablespoon, because think about it. There's dressing sitting in that tablespoon that you're not getting. I mean, granted, I get my leaf and I kind of rub it in there, but it's actually would be easier. I wouldn't even have to dirty a tablespoon. That's kind of ingenious. Less work. And last but not least, what do you think of the 0 point foods versus the other 0 point foods? I get asked that a lot. You know my opinion on that, and I will reiterate it here real quickly. I was never a fan of certain things being 0. Back when we had blue, green, and purple, I stuck to blue. I thought the blue plan gave me enough freedom, but it held things in accountability, like brown rices, like pastas, like potatoes, like oats and avocado. I love oats. You know I'm the oat queen, and every time I would have oats as 0, it never turned out well. None of them ever turned out well. At the end, I just had none of them as 0. Because here for me, I didn't eat them every day to account for the missing points. And a lot of people are more upset with potatoes not being on there because that's something natural. It's grown on the ground. It's technically a vegetable. Why can't that be 0? I kind of get it. It's a starchy vegetable, but there's peas in there, Dee. And my leader made a really good point. She goes, who's eating a can of peas? I ain't no can of peas. If you're out there overeating peas, let me know. And I consider that is so true. I'll have a serving of peas, but I don't sit there and desire to eat loads of peas. Same thing with corn. I like corn. Do I want, one ear is plenty. Do I want to go back for a second ear of corn? Usually. Same thing, I can go back for like more salad. I love extra salad and broccoli, yeah. But yeah, corn and peas are not something I tend to go for. So I kind of get the corn thing. There is people that probably would, but somebody said, well, you could this is my fun. Found a little bit funny. You could overeat popcorn. Air popped popcorn. If you overeat air popped popcorn, I don't see that being very detrimental. That's just my opinion. I mean, you can disagree with me, but I really don't see that being a problem if you overeat air popped popcorn. I don't think anybody gained weight eating too much air popped popcorn. That's back in the day. That's what they always used to eat. All the anorexics were eating popcorn because it was like such a thing that's what they ate, salad and popcorn. That was like always the thing. Now, granted, you could put toppings on your popcorn that might make it a little bit like butter. Butter. We're not supposed to put butter on our popcorn. We're just supposed to put I can't believe it's not butter, and some of those Twix dust or salt. Sometimes I put, no, it's really good on popcorn, nutritional yeast. It's like a little bit of an umami cheese flavor. I love it. That's always good. But again, I don't find I overeat popcorn. And even if I did, it's popcorn. I was like, it's just popcorn. I don't know. Movie butter popcorn, yeah, I could, I'm with you there. It's the butter. But I don't think hot air popcorn is going to be. And I think it encourages people to have that snack. I think a lot of us aren't eating enough. So if popcorn is a 0 point food, at least they're gravitating towards some form of a healthy snack. in my opinion. Again, you can disagree. I'm not here to say my way is the only way, because it's not. So that is the last thing. Oh, I'm going to throw the clip in for how to change your food in the tracker, and I just show you how to track really quick. Actually, I think it was longer than I wanted it to be, but it's a tracking, so I'm going to insert that clip right here. All right, let's show you how to track and how to switch tracking around. So I left my Sunday open because I actually didn't track on Sunday, which you don't want to do that. So it kind of works out. So breakfast Sunday, I had a scramble. So what I do now, you can hit breakfast and put it in, but I go right to the top and I hit quick add, and then it was a veggie scramble. Come on, did he spell correctly? Veggie scramble. And I know it was only 1 point. So I hit required and I just put my 1 in there, and see what it's the blue, the sun on the sunrise is lit up, so you know that's breakfast. So you hit track. And then lunch, I had what did I have Sunday? See, I should have tracked it Sunday, but I didn't eat great Sunday. I'm not sure why, but I know I didn't. So I just had a protein plate, which is an egg, some turkey plate. And I know it had a cheese in there, so I know it was a 2-point cheese, and I know it probably had a cracker with it, so it was probably 4 points, so 4. And then you go to the middle one where the sun is, because that's the middle of the day, and you hit track. So we have a quick add. Again, for dinner, I had the 0-point turkey chili. Chili, spell it right, Denise. Chili. Oh my goodness, I can't spell today. So my chili was 0, but I had toppings on there. And I had, I can think what I had. I had cheese, because I had all these points obviously left over. I did not have much that day. I had a lot of food, but I didn't have a lot of points, which is a rare occurrence for me. I really wasn't feeling too good on Sunday, so I think that's why I kind of just ate light. So the chili, I had the cheese, and I had Greek yogurt, and I had chopped onion, and I had chips. So there's where I got my points. So I had 2 points of cheese, and I had about 6 points of chips. So that's 8 points for that. So I just took an 8, and then I have to go where the moon is, and I hit track. Now, I'm not sure what this is over here, this last one. That's where I put my snack. And I had one of those little four-point bags of the rice cakes, so we'll put 4 points, and then I go to that, and that is, I think, the snack, or like the in-between kind of thing. I'm really not sure, but that's where I put my snack, right there on the end, and I hit track. So then when we come to the day, we have 6 points left, so they will all carry over. Now, say I made a mistake. Say I meant to put the chili in lunch. So we go back to that day. Oh, I'm there. Duh. I go to where it says, in the middle, see where it says lunch, protein myth. I hit that, and I hit the meal again. It brings me back. So I really had that for dinner. So I just have to go over and move it to the moon, and I hit update. So it takes it off. So lunch is now 0, and it puts it in to my dinner. So my dinner total is now 12. There's nothing there for lunch. So you have, and I thought, oh, I made a mistake. I really did have it for lunch. You can go back, hit protein plate, go back to the sun, and hit update food. So it puts it back for lunch. So that is how you can switch. You can do that for any day. You could switch if you put it in the wrong day, if you happen to, absolutely, you could definitely switch it around. Now, again, let's go to today. I've already had breakfast, tracked my Kodiak cakes. I'm doing a little bit better. 14-day streak for breakfast. Woohoo! So I also did have a glass of water. So we're going to hit the plus sign. I didn't remember. So I have my water in 12-ounce increments. So I put that in there. So if you want to pre-track lunch, you just can hit it. And you could pre-track lunch. You could pre-track dinner. I could pre-track if I wanted to. Tomorrow. Pre-track my whole day. Have it already in my app. You could pre-track Friday if you wanted to. So definitely you can track ahead. You could also go back if you missed a day and go back and fix that. Let's go to Saturday. Yeah, I had a 38-point day. Look at my breakfast. 23 points for a mango smoothie. Yeah, I counted it. I did. You know, it was what it was. And I used some weeklies, and I still have a decent amount of weeklies left. I still have 34 weeklies. I will earn some today. So I feel confident in my weekly points, but that is how it was asked to show how you shift a meal around. I mean, now we don't get points and stuff for tracking, but you know, if it just helps you out to know what it is, and you absolutely could scan things and then track them. You also, if we'll talk about that in the vlog portion of the video. I was going to talk about it here, but it doesn't make sense to talk about it here. But that is how I do that. Alrighty, this ends another Wednesday's Wisdom for Weight Loss. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Join us here at Dish with D. That is right there below. Hit that subscribe button. Join our community here of waist watching warriors, where we're slaying our poundages 1 pound at a time. We can do this, people, with the support of each other. That's how we get it done. And with tips like this, and sensible, and sometimes we have to hear it for somebody to go, yeah, that's what I'm supposed to do. Makes sense. So I hope these helped. And again, leave a comment down below if you want me to rapid fire something for next week. I love your ideas. It helps me out doing these, and it's been a lot of fun. So that is it. Hope you have a great holiday tomorrow. Of course, some of you might not be seeing this tomorrow or today, but I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. If this is after Thanksgiving, I hope you ate the way you wanted to eat. I always say, make a choice and stick with it. Don't feel guilty. Guilt is the worst thing you could serve yourself. That is the truth. So you'll have a great day, holiday, week, whenever you see this. I will dish with you another day. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And again, leave me a comment below for next week. I'd appreciate it. I will dish with you another day. Goodbye, my lovelies.